Hi, this is Brian Wicklund with Garfinkel Schwartz. I'm here at my Maitland, Florida office today. I'd like to talk to you about what are called functional capacity evaluations in the Defense-Based Act context. Now, functional capacity evaluations are usually used by the insurance company to weigh your lack of earning capacity and what you actually physically can do after your injury or when you're placed at maximum medical improvement. Unfortunately, normally what happens is these functional capacity exams in this area of law are basically used to see if you're lacking effort or you're exaggerating your symptoms or your injuries, so they can try to use that against you later in court with the judge to say that you're exaggerating or lying or just refusing to give the amount of effort that they're asking you to do. Now, this is tough because a lot of people don't want to exert that type of effort, not because they're trying to hide anything, but because they have injuries that they don't want to re-aggravate. And when they tell you to bend down and touch your toes 10 times while you have a lower back injury that's just healing, it might be a little uncomfortable to do that. So the best thing to do is just explain yourself, number one, and say, hey, I might be a little afraid to do this certain exercise, and just be very upfront and honest with them. Because what they're simply looking for, more so than how many push-ups you can do or how fast you can walk, is to see if you're going to exaggerate. And that's what all they look for. They're looking to see if you're exaggerating or you're not exerting effort, acting like you can't do something that you probably can do. And you have to be, my best advice is to be totally brutally honest. Do the exercises that you know that you can do, because at some point in time, a doctor is probably going to say that you could have done better if you don't exert the effort that a normal person under normal circumstances would. So be upfront and honest. Don't be afraid of it, but just be on the alert, because they're going to be watching you normally. I mean, not every time, but in the Defense-Based Act area of law, because these cases are valuable, they'll be watching you all the way from when you get in your car to when you get out of your car. If you're smoking a cigarette, they'll be watching that, and they're going to be recording that in terms of a written record as to exactly what they observed. So if you're skipping around the sidewalk and then you say that you can't bend down and touch your toes, they're gonna hold that against you. It's also a very good time for the insurance company to do surveillance on you, because they know where you're going to be, they know where you are, and they may do it beforehand or they may do it afterwards. They may actually follow you throughout the day to see if what you exerted in your functional capacity exam comports with what you're doing during that day. So if you do the exam and you can't do certain things, but then you go home and cut your grass with a manual lawnmower, someone might be watching that and they might try to hold that against you in the future. So that's just a tidbit in this area of law. These types of things are easily argued on our side in terms of abilities and each person's individual capacities to do jobs, especially overseas in a combat setting. So don't be afraid of it. And just be honest with everyone up front if you don't feel comfortable, and exert your best efforts. It just works better in the long run. And there's no reason to hide anything. If you're injured, you're injured. If you're not, you're not. So that's a little tidbit of advice. If you ever have any questions about functional capacity evaluations or any other thing that has anything to do with your Defense-Based Act claim, please call us at any time for free. We'll be glad to answer any of your questions, and we'll be able to help you any way we can. That's what we like to do here. So thanks for listening. Brian Wicklund again, sounding off from our Maitland, Florida office. Take care.